So I'd like to talk about the Lakers for a little bit. After seeing that game against the Spurs last night, it's not looking great for the Lakers. They've started the season 0-3, and it's very obvious that their defense is very lackluster. And the reason that they're losing all these games, they lost to the Spurs in overtime last night. Both teams scored 140 plus points. And that is insane. Even for today's NBA, when it seems like the team's average scoring is rising higher and higher each year. This year, I know it's only been like 4 games, but the average NBA team's score is somewhere around 116, whereas last year it was 106 or something close to those numbers. So I'd like to talk about 3 big men that I think the Lakers should target in free agency. These are 1-year minimum guys. This is just somebody to have on the floor while JaVale McGee is not on the floor, because he can't play more than 25 minutes a night, I'd say. So the first big man I'd like to talk about is Alexei Ajinka. He's a 30-year-old center. He's 7'2", he has a 7'9" wingspan and a 9'4" standing reach. So already he kind of compares to JaVale McGee, and the fact that he's 7'2" and that lengthy, how can you not grab rebounds? Because rebounds is another weakness of the Lakers. Last night against the Spurs, you saw several offensive rebounds by the Spurs, and that's just because the Lakers can't get their own rebounds. Ajinka has underrated athleticism. He's by no means above average in terms of athleticism, but he moves pretty well and can finish above the rim. Now, he doesn't take contact at the rim very well, but he is very active on the boards and can keep plays alive, grabbing offensive rebounds and things like that. And if you need him to, he can be a decent low post scorer if he has a good position. He's an okay shot blocker, and he's an intelligent defender. And his length will help with that shot blocking and altering the trajectory of shots. So I think he'll be okay on defense and offense, especially since he'll only be playing 10 to 15 minutes a game. Now, he has a pretty thin frame, and he's not a great defensive rebounder, and he lacks strength and toughness compared to other NBA bigs, but I think it should be fine for 10 to 15 minutes a game. The second name on this list is Kendrick Perkins, and he's 33 years old, 6'10", 270 pounds, and this is by no means the Kendrick Perkins from the Boston Celtics era. He's declined, and he's gone through some injury problems in the last few years. He's only played a handful of games in the last few years, but I think for about 10 to 15 minutes a game, like the Lakers need, would be decent for Kendrick Perkins. He's a tough defender, he sets hard screens, boxes out well, and he can be a decent rebounder. Whether that can still apply today, he was very good back in his prime, but he took a little dip with the Thunder. We'll never know if he is NBA ready again. He retired from the G League, and he's looking to make an NBA comeback. So we'll just have to see where Kendrick Perkins ends up. Now, the last name I'd like to talk about, and my favorite personally on this list, is Emeka Okafor. He was waived by the Pelicans, I think in July. It was right before training camp. He's 6'10" and 255 pounds. And back in his prime, even as a rookie, he was an amazing rebounder and a good defender. He's pretty lengthy, can alter shots, and also grab rebounds. He grabbed anywhere in between 2 to 4 offensive rebounds back in his earlier years. He is 36, but by no means is he going to need to do what he did for the Charlotte Bobcats back when he was on that team. And last year for the Pelicans, he played 26 games and grabbed 4.6 rebounds in 13.6 minutes a game. And, he's not a liability on defense, but he's definitely not a great defender. But that's really not what the Lakers need. They just need somebody to fill that position, because LeBron at the 5, while JaVale is not in the game, does not always work out. I really think they need to pick up one of these guys for a minimum contract. I personally think Emeka Okafor would be a great idea. He's tall, 6'10", is maybe a little undersized compared to some centers, but he can still grab some rebounds. 13.6 minutes and almost grabbing 5 rebounds a game. It would help considering the Lakers have almost no rebounding presence. And he can cause turnovers, change the trajectory of shots, and just all around have a decent presence on the floor while JaVale McGee is not in the game. If the Lakers can get their big man situation under control, I think they can be decent, but until then, I think they will struggle and continue to lose games.